everybody to View Fitness TV. So today I am going to give you guys a little recipe that I use. I think it would be really good, especially with what's going on right now. I know right now money's tight for a lot of people, so I feel like this recipe can go a long way and it lasts for a while. So I have a household of 6. I didn't know if many of you might or might not know that, but my household is big. Makes it a little bit challenging when the stores are only allowing you to take, like 2 packages of meat at a time. Some of us need more than 2 packages of meat, not because we're trying to hoard it, but because we literally have, a whole army to feed at our house. So when things like that happen, this is a really great, quick, easy meal that you can make. It is going to be gluten-free. Some of you do know that I have a gluten allergy, some of you don't. So if you don't, now you do. So everybody in my house eats gluten-free for the most part. I do let my kids eat, non-gluten-free bread, again, in the sake of money. Gluten-free bread is about $8 for a loaf. So when you have 6 people in a house, that can become very expensive. So I myself love starches and breads, and it's not the same as normal bread, so I usually just omit it from a lot of what I eat anyway. So this is a gluten-free, it's called Crock-pot chicken parm. I really hope you enjoy it, and I'll start getting down to it. Okay, so first, the ingredients that I use. Package of chicken. You can use boneless, skinless chicken breast. I use boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I feel like even though there's a little bit more fat, it will fall off. You can cut that off, but I do think it's a lot juicier when it comes to how it's going to come out at the end. Sometimes boneless, skinless chicken breast in the crock pot sometimes comes out, or it can be a little bit drier than chicken thighs. So I like to use the thighs, plus it shreds nice and easy. So that is my chicken. And then I have some salt, pepper, oregano, Italian seasoning, 2 jars of pasta sauce. I have my garlic, my onion powder, and my garlic powder. I turned all of the labels because not 100% sure if you guys are supposed to see brand names or not. So for safety's sake, I just turned it all over. But that is what I'm using. And I'll explain it as I go how much of each. So first I'm going to add my chicken. I usually do this with my hands, but again, for the sake of not keeping you guys for a really long time, you're going to add your chicken to the crock pot. Okay. Wow. That one didn't want to get in there. Okay. Try to make it as level as I can with one layer. See if I can squeeze these last 2 in here. Okay, perfect. So then what I'm going to do, so that's my chicken. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. And I'm going to sprinkle it over the top. Again, it doesn't have to be exact, and you can take this recipe, and I've kind of tweaked it as I go. I used to start with just 3 ingredients or 3 spices, but I've added over time. And so then I'm going to take 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, sprinkle that. If you feel like you want a little bit more, you can, it's fine. Oregano, I'm going to do about 1/2 teaspoon. Sprinkle it over. I'm going to do the same with my Italian seasoning. We like a lot of flavor in this house. My onion powder, I'm going to do the same. And then for garlic, I love garlic. I will throw as much garlic in a recipe as you possibly can, or you can tolerate, because garlic I just love the flavor of garlic. So I'm going to add a whole teaspoon of garlic to the top of this. And again, you can tweak it, you can take some out, you can add other stuff in, but that's my recipe. Then I'm going to take 2 jars of pasta sauce. Of course, mine is gluten-free, so you can use whichever pasta sauce you like. It doesn't have to be a specific brand. And you just pour that right over the top. And so this, like I said, is extremely easy. So for right now, this is as easy as it gets. Chicken, spices, throw the pasta sauce on. You're going to take your cover. You're going to cover your crock pot. You have two choices. You can set it for 4 hours on high, or you can set it for 6 to 8 hours on low. I want to speed up the process because I have a lot of things to do. I am surprised my children are actually being as quiet as they are right now. They are all in the house. So I'm going to do high for 4 hours. And then after that, so when we get down to about 30 minutes left, you want to boil some pasta. I happen to use, obviously, gluten-free. Oh, try to cover the name, but you probably know what it is just by the box. I'm using gluten-free elbows. You can use gluten-free penne. Those are the two that I found work really good in this. So when you're about 30 minutes from being done, you're going to boil this pasta, and then I'm going to show you the rest after this is closer to being done. So I'm going to boil my pasta, and then I'll catch you guys in a few minutes. All right? Alright guys, so now we're at the second part of our crock-pot chicken parm. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see, my timer went off. It's now on warm. So I'm going to go ahead, take the cover off. You have two choices. You can shred your chicken right inside of the crock-pot. It's up to you. When it's done, it should shred very easily. If it's very tough to shred, then it's probably not done. Sometimes every crock pot is different, so you'll have to put your chicken back in for a little while. Or you can take it out of the crock pot, put it on a plate, shred it all, and then dump it back in. Alright, so I am just wrapping up. Mine is falling apart, so that's good. It doesn't have to be very, very thin pieces. They can be chunky, it doesn't really matter. There's no set rule. Okay, so I've shredded mine, if you guys can see here. That's what mine looks like. Now, I'm going to take the pasta that I had boiled, which I told you guys I was going to be using elbows. I'm going to go ahead and carefully, so it doesn't splat, dump that into the pan. I'm going to take anything, a spoon, the forks. I'm just going to mix it all together. Now again, I know some people like a very particular diet. I have to eat everything gluten-free. I do cut down certain things if I need to from time to time, but for the most part, I also believe that you can eat still things that you love. As long as you do everything in moderation. It's all about control. So this is a nice hearty home-cooked chicken parm. Alright, so now I'm just going to flatten out my noodles. Okay. So again, I know it's a little out of the typical diet for fitness, but again, everything comes back to what you're eating, how you're eating it, when you're eating it, things like that. It is okay to still have food like this in your diet, even if you're training. So now I'm going to take some, you can do mozzarella cheese, you can do pizza cheese. I'm going to use pizza cheese right now. I'm going to sprinkle some over the top here, just to cover it. Then I'm going to take some Parmesan cheese. And I'm going to go ahead and cover the rest of it here. Again, you can make it more cheesy, less cheesy. It's up to you. There's no set rule. Just to cover it a little bit. Then I'm going to take my cover. I'm going to put it back on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it from warm. And I'm going to go back to my mode. And I'm going to put back on high. But I'm going to bring it up to 30 minutes. So then what I'm going to do from there is I'm only going to cook it for about 15. This particular crock pot doesn't let you set things for 15 minutes, so I did it for 30. I'll just keep track in my head. And then after 15 minutes, all done. So I'm going to show you what mine looks like as soon as my 15 mark goes off. I'll see you then. All right, so my timer is up. I am going to take a quick peek is what I meant to say. That's what happens when you're a little bit tired. So I'm gonna open it up. It looks amazing. If you guys want to take a peek, this is what mine looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and shut my crock pot off. I'm gonna unplug it. I'm gonna get ready to scoop it into another container, because what I do is I take one day a week, and for me it's typically Saturday, where I cook for a good portion of the day. A lot of people ask me, how do you do that? Where do you find the time? I have to make the time because I do have a very large family. There's 6 of us, like I said earlier, that live here, that need to eat dinners. You guys know that I'm a nurse, so I'm working right now. It just becomes a little tough, you know, between doing fitness, doing YouTube, being a mom, being a wife. So doing all of these things, it requires me to meal prep, which I actually have to give credit to my sister, because she is the one that's been doing it for quite some time. And she always tells me that I should do it, and I always said I didn't have time. So now I do it, and my life is so much easier. When I come home from work, you know, I come home, obviously I can't see my kids right away. I need to take my clothes off, take a shower, do all that stuff because of the coronavirus that I'm working with, or potentially working with these days. So by the time I'm done coming home, get changed, all that good stuff, come upstairs, I want to spend time with my family too, so this is great. I come home, it's already meal prepped, we scoop it out, we warm it up, we eat as a family, and then we get to carry on with our night. So again, this was Crock-pot chicken parm. I hope you like it. I'm sure you guys can see over here in the background, there's another Crock-pot going that has Fiesta chicken in it for my chicken tacos or taco salad. You can put the chicken on whatever you want. That's the great thing about that meal. I also cooked 3 other items, so I cooked 5 different meals today. But this one, I hope you guys like it. Please comment, like, subscribe, share this video. Again, let me know in the comment section if there's any questions you guys have. As always, if you want recipes, if I have them, or if it's something that I cook, I will definitely do a video for those. So comment again below and let me know. And again, this particular recipe might not be, you know, 0 fat, 0 calories, but it is a great home-cooked meal. And like I said earlier in the video, it is, you know, when you look at it, it doesn't look like much, but when you start scooping it out, it lasts a long time. Even for our household of 6, it lasts, I want to say, we can eat it maybe 3 times, which is great. So it's a nice meal that you can make your money stretch with. So I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope you enjoy the meal. Till next time, stay true, guys, and always be you. Bye.